Senegal is one of Africa's most progressive and vibrant countries. It's home to over 13 million people. In the first in our series of reports from this land, we turn our attention to the country's national sport, Senegalese wrestling. It's known as Laamb in the Wolof language and Lutte Avec Frappe in French. The leading practitioners of the sport are big stars here, and they don't come any bigger than Boy Niang De. Wrestling is popular all over West Africa, but nowhere more so than here in Senegal. In Senegalese wrestling, punching or blows to the face are allowed, and bouts between two champions can captivate the entire nation.
Wrestlers start off in competitions called bapat, which is wrestling without punching. These tournaments sometimes involve 50 to 60 wrestlers. I started this way and won prizes like sheep, cows, and big bags of rice. I then realized I had a future as a wrestler. When I won a plane ticket and $500,000 safers, I knew that with hard work I could achieve something really special in the sport. That's why I took wrestling extremely seriously.
In Pekin, a city of nearly 1 million people just to the east of the capital Dakar, Boy Niang's celebrity is unsurpassed. It's traditional for wrestlers to remain living in the area where they were born, even after they achieve fame and fortune. Such loyalty earns them a special form of devotion from their fans.
People love wrestling, and it's our national sport. Every Senegalese person knows about wrestling, and most men have wrestled. From the moment you are born, wrestling is very much a part of a person's life. And it's so popular because every neighborhood has their own wrestler, their own champion. When a wrestler has a bout, not just his close friends, but everyone in the neighborhood travels to support him. If you're a young, popular and talented champion, you create a buzz in Senegal and everyone knows who you are. The press and journalists are always writing about the sport, and you can't turn on the TV without seeing wrestling.
Boy Niang comes from a family of fighters. His uncle and father were both revered champions. It was his father, de Gaulle, who oversaw his son's first steps into wrestling.
When he was a child, I was training wrestlers. I used to coach young fighters like Tyson, Malal, Boise, Balbe and Ulmusen. He used to follow me to training, and he would copy the wrestling with the other boys that were there. He really took to wrestling. He was a natural, and it wasn't long until he was starring in youth tournaments with his friends.
At just 24, Boy Niang is still in the early stages of his career. A series of impressive victories have seen him quickly climb into the sport's elite ranks. Just like professional boxers, Senegalese wrestlers fight only a handful of times a year. However, for those at the top of the sport, some bouts can see them earn hundreds of thousands of dollars. Wrestlers usually enter training camps 6 weeks before a fight to tailor their preparations for a specific opponent. When Boy Niang isn't in a camp, he trains with the other fighters in his stable and does a lot of strength and conditioning work.
You definitely need power and endurance. Otherwise, you'll quickly get found out in this sport. You have to be physically strong to be able to wrestle for 30 to 40 minutes without getting tired. And you must have speed to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. If you're slow and weak, you won't get very far. Being tall is also important. Wrestlers who are short don't stand much of a chance. Some short wrestlers have success, but it's very rare. A wrestler needs to be tall and strong and when he walks past you in the street, you'll be able to see he's a wrestler.
In Senegalese wrestling, what is almost as important as a fighter's wrestling ability is their style and showmanship. Before a bout, the wrestler and his stablemates perform a routine designed to show off the fighter's confidence, power and ferocity. Boy Niang is a natural showman and spends many hours perfecting his pre-fight routine.
When you come to the stadium for a fight, there will always be a large crowd, so you need to entertain them with your steps, movements and dancing before the bout starts. It's such an important part of the event. Some people actually come to the stadium just for the entertainment. So when we're in the stadium, we make sure we do this well.
Another key component of the pre-bout ritual is the performance of the lion dance. The dance plays a part in most cultural ceremonies here and over the years has become synonymous with Senegalese wrestling.
Lions are a really big part of our tradition. The lion is Senegal's talismanic figure. Even our footballers are called the Lions of Teranga. Lions obviously don't wrestle, but their spirit is hugely important to maintaining aspects of our culture. There is a link there that will never be broken. So wrestlers enter the stadium with a lion dancer, or two, and this forms a big part of the pre-bout performance.
Away from wrestling, Boy Niang fulfills an important role in his local community. As a local celebrity, he's often the guest of honor at a whole host of events. When Transworld Sport was in town, he was attending the opening of a new petrol station and restaurant. His role as a public figure is something that he takes very seriously, and he uses his fame to campaign against violence amongst young people. It's this active role in the community, combined with his success as a wrestler, that has seen Boy Niang achieve a level of popularity that's usually only reserved for much older fighters.
It really makes me proud, because I'm not the first wrestler this neighborhood has ever seen. The fact that people look up to me and copy what I do, even copy my hairstyle or listen to what I have to say, makes me feel very happy. Even older wrestlers in my area don't have that level of admiration. I thank God for this and ask that He continues to bless me and give me the guidance to help others around me. Helping my people is very important to me. I'm also proud to be able to support my entire family through this sport. When I sit back and think about that, I feel a huge sense of satisfaction.
Already a household name across Senegal, Boy Niang is a fighter still on the rise, and he has plans to one day become the sport's grand heavyweight champion. Wrestlers usually reach their peak in their mid-30s, when they've had the chance to gain valuable experience and develop physically. In a sport that occupies such an important role in Senegalese society, Boy Niang is a man who looks set to be the people's champion for many more years to come.
My dream is to be the ultimate king of the wrestling arena. I want to win the crown and sit on the throne. I also dream of gaining international recognition, representing Senegal all over the world and showing off this sport. I love all sport. Before I was a wrestler, I was a junior boxer, so sport is the only thing I know. When I have achieved everything in Senegalese wrestling, maybe I'll find another sport at which I'll be successful. But first, I'm focusing on more success in our national sport.